it's time to welcome the filmmakers behind one of the most bizarre indie horror films of the year. I'm sure they will be eligible for award this, actually. Now that I think about it, they're going to be eligible for award this. So here we have director Michael Bafaro and writer-producer Michael Milton. They're calling themselves the Michaels, joining us on the Film Threat livecast. Gentlemen, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having us, Chris.
Thanks for having us, Chris.
Cool. This movie, Don't Look Away.
Alan.
What's up?
Thank you.
Nice to meet you too, Alan.
Good to meet you too. Which Michael is which?
I'm Michael Bafaro.
He's the director and I'm the writer guy.
Cool. Michael Bafaro, thank you for the correct pronunciation. Michael Milton, writer, producer, thank you. Okay, I'm going to tell everyone right here, right now, everyone watching live, we got like almost 500 people watching us live. Watch the trailer for this movie. You will not believe it is like a giant Ken doll is a murderer. Would that be a good description?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us what inspired you to make Don't Look Away, and tell us a little bit about the basic story.
All right, Michael, you take this one.
Well, I mean, the basic story is it's about a supernatural mannequin that goes after a group of young people, killing them one by one. And that's like pretty much basically what it's about. We've gotten our kind of what our movie's about down to a science because it's so simple. It's, it's a kind of classic slasher, but the mannequin is the killer. And we had this idea where it started with a screening we went to of Jason Takes Manhattan from the Friday the 13th series.
And if anyone remembers that Jason Takes Manhattan's, there's a scene in there that where a woman walks into this nightclub and she's confronted by Jason, and then she turns away from him and she turns around and he's gone and he just starts appearing popping up everywhere. So
it's like all those like slasher franchises like Halloween or Friday the 13th, where by the later series, the killer somehow has like teleportation abilities all of a sudden. And we were like, that's kind of cool. And the way they did it in that scene, it wasn't that great, but the idea was so cool. It's like, oh, like now Jason can just teleport. We could do that with our own original character. And then we stumbled upon a picture of a mannequin driving a car, and just on Reddit or something, we were like, what's that? Oh, that's a mannequin in the car. And then it all kind of clicked. We're like, oh, we don't even need a man to do this movie. We can use a mannequin.
And not only that, first of all, this is a brilliant concept. I think for a horror franchise, this is such a great concept because you now basically own this particular image, this character, this mannequin that you created, that I'm getting Ken doll vibes from it, like a giant Ken doll, right?
Yeah, that was unintentional. That was unintentional. When we made this movie, I hadn't even heard about Barbie.
Right.
I hadn't even heard about Barbie. And then all of a sudden I heard about Barbie, and all of a sudden I'm going, oh, this is interesting. And then it wasn't even us that said, that brought up this
Ken
doll thing. It was the distributor that said, holy mackerel, we've got like a Ken doll, anti-Ken, so.
Right. It definitely has those vibes, but congratulations on the film. We have questions and comments from our audience. So if you wouldn't mind taking some questions from them right now.
Okay.
English Batchers, who's a member, says, welcome, Michaels.
Welcome. Thank you.
And the Nerd Far Away says, hail, Michael and Michael. What writers have influenced your style?
Well, for this particular film, like a big one was Larry Cohen. His like work, throughout
Larry.
Yeah, for all of his genre stuff, Maniac Cop, all that sort of stuff. It's like he's the kind of guy who would take like a basic premise, like a murdering cop, and infuse it with all sort of strange indie New York kind of fun stuff like that. So yeah.
Cool. More questions here. Do I detect Canada? Says Sir Switch Crookington.
Yes. You can hear it a little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
That's okay.
Sorry.
We do have some talent up here too. So,
And Alan Horkin says, "Don't look away." So a bit like Blink and the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who.
That's what people have been telling us. We've never seen Doctor Who.
I've never seen Doctor Who. I've never watched it. I've heard about it, but I've never watched it. And then all of a sudden, everyone was starting to talk about
these
Weeping Angels, and yeah, it's just literally a fluke, I guess. You know.
Yeah.
Also, yeah.
I mean, it's a similar concept to like a bunch of slasher things, right? Like it's an old idea. But I guess you could say it's similar. We don't know. We've never seen Doctor Who,
and that's the truth. I mean it since like the truth. So
Solomon Thornton asks, "Greetings, Sir Michaels. Any advice for beginning filmmakers?"
just, write and try to make things, and, always try to be figuring out how you can get the most production value and make the best movie with the resources that you have.
Yeah, Michael and I have been making movies now for about 7 years
together.
And together. I had previous, experiences like over the years. I've been in the business 30 some odd years now.
Longer than I've been alive.
And as far as okay, you're going to make a movie, put a lot of prep into it, tons of prep. If you don't have a lot of money, that's where you're going to make your movie. And
I never give up along the way. Like, depending how long the shoot is, like you can lose your momentum, but you really have to pump yourself up every day, even if you're tired, even if you think, oh, yesterday, like we didn't get exactly what we wanted. The movie's not going to be as great. Every day you have to keep pushing, because it's the small things that, you do that will make it better.
And if you truly believe in the movie, just keep going. Don't let anyone say, oh, this will never work. This will never work. Because we heard that on this one. And I mean, I have to admit that I was running scared on this film, because we were writing the script and I'm going, oh my God, how am I going to make this work? How am I going to make this work? And it was very, like I was scared every day, even while we were shooting. I'm going, how are we going to make this work? But it came out, we believed and
embrace the fear.
Yeah, embrace the fear. Running a little scared is good, I found.
Am I wrong? But are you getting a theatrical release, right?
Yeah,
yes.
We got,
because I remember seeing the trailer in the theaters.
We've got.
Oh, really? You saw it in the theaters?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
it was. I forgot what movie it was. It was definitely a horror movie I was watching.
It's AMC theaters and Alamo Draft House.
Okay, that's where it is.
And
was this something that kind of surprised you, or did you have the theatrical already in place when you were making the film?
No,
well, like when we made it, like, again, it's an independent film, so anything can happen. But like our vision was, of course we want it in the cinemas and everything like that. And even the way Michael shot it too, it's like he shot it with the intention for it to play on a big screen.
I do believe in that. I believe in that. If you can really, really put your best effort, or don't just settle, that someone will take notice of the film. The budget we worked at was one that we really had to work hard.
Mm-hmm.
Michael and I were doing all sorts of things to get this film noticed. Like to get the film made, we had to go to do craft service. We had to go to the Walmart every night after work. That was before we did all our prep work for the next day. I mean, we worked a long time, like long hours and everything.
And when we found out we were getting a theatrical release, we were really excited. And then it just kept kind of like building a little bit more. It was like, oh, you guys are going to get like a couple theaters or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it was, oh, you guys are getting 100 theaters. And then oh, you guys are getting 200 theaters.
And now we got more.
Like,
now
wow.
I think we're at 300 screens.
Yeah.
300 screens across the United States and Canada. Canada, I think we've got 40 screens or 30 some odd screens. Smaller country, mind you. And but in the States, we did not expect this big of a theatrical.
Well, so question, does it open today?
I have to credit level. I'm sorry, I have to credit Level 33 and Industry Works for that. They worked hard.
It opens in theaters today.
Yes,
Yes.
correct.
That's great. Okay, opens. Okay, just want to make sure that's clear. In theaters today, coming soon, I assume, to VOD and whatnot.
Later
So
on.
some comments, more comments and questions here. Brock Samsonite says, "Has Michael seen the side quest for the new Hogwarts Legacy game? It's literally a side quest of attacking mannequins."
Oh no, I haven't seen
No.
that.
I don't even know what side quest is. Sorry, I'm a little older than everyone out there.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Greasy Guido says, "I love unique horror takes like this. Where is the doll now?"
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Okay, go.
Oh, get it. That's great. And,
We don't have a body. There's a story behind the body, but we managed to save the head.
oh my
Oh, there you
God. Oh, it's
and
so
this
creepy.
is like a 3D printed mannequin. When we like went to shoot the movie, we were going to use like more of a generic kind of mannequin from a store, and one of our executive producers 2 weeks before our principal photography date wanted a custom designed mannequin.
Mhm.
So we had to get someone to design it, build it. It wasn't even ready for the first day of shooting. We were scared. We were like, I had to double as the mannequin for the first day. One of our other crew members doubled as it as well. And we were crossing our fingers, hoping the mannequin would be ready in time. So,
and the way I shot it and everything, you can't tell that it wasn't the mannequin, but we did get it on the second day. So,
Was there just one mannequin, or did you have to?
we had a second one that we
had a second one that wasn't as perfect as this one because we wanted to do
the explosion.
we wanted to do
I wanted to abuse it, basically.
yeah, but we also wanted to do the Indiana Jones face melt with it, so it had a wax head, so we could do that kind of thing.
Yeah, and and then that was
Cool.
well.
More comments and questions here. Cool trailer. Love the wardrobe sheet at the start, says English Batchers. And Iceman asks, "Did you edit the film yourself?"
Yeah,
We did, yeah.
Cool. Congrats on the movie, says Kara. Who makes the music? Who did the music and sound?
So Matt Downsey, he was our sound designer and composer. He did all of that, and we worked with him. It was a really fun experience. And then Michael's brother got a bunch of sourced music from the late Phil Western, who unfortunately passed away a few years ago. But he worked with 9 Inch Nails, Skinny Puppy, Bryan Adams, and a bunch of
Trent Reznor.
Yeah, 9 Inch Nails, Trent Reznor. Yeah. But so we got a bunch of his music, which was really cool. So it was like, it's not a typical horror soundtrack because this is like really a lot of sourced kind of experimental music. And then Matt kind of did a bunch of work over top to kind of give it that cinematic element.
Cool. John Long last name asks, Tourist Trap is one of my favorite horror movies. Thanks for bringing us more killer mannequins. And Alan Horkin says, I wonder, have the Michaels ever seen the mannequin movies from the 80s?
The Kim Cattrall film?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have not.
I think I saw it way back, but I don't remember it. I'm not big on love stories or like
no one died in that movie.
Romantic comedies or whatever. I'm just they have their place, but
Robin Chang asks, what was the budget?
Oh, we're not allowed to discuss that.
Can't
under 50 million.
Under 50,
under
yeah.
50 million and over
10,000.
No, over $1.
Yeah, usually like filmmakers want to kind of hide what the budget is. You know, it's like tipping your poker hand. You don't want to tell everyone because you want the distributor to pay you more than what you spent on the movie. So,
and you probably want more on the next film too.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
we
want definitely going to ask for 50 million on the next one.
Right. Sean Bird asks, any advice on selling screenplays?
Michael, I have the best answer.
I honestly, nowadays it's really tough. Like, I mean, it's always been tough, but write stuff that you believe in, and like if you're true to yourself and all that. And I have no idea like how to get things made anymore. I mean, we're just so into what we're writing our own material all the time. So
the best advice like I ever got was have somebody else in mind as your
Yeah.
audience when you're writing a screenplay, because if you're making it for an audience,
I gave you that advice.
no, I
gave you that advice also. When you said, Michael, when I first met Michael, sorry, I'm gonna.
Oh,
When I first met Michael, I met him through his mother, who I used to see all the time at coffee place that I go to. All she goes, "Oh, you work in the film business, right?" I said, "Yeah." And she says, "Would you meet my son when he finishes school?" I said, "Yeah, sure, great." Anyway, long and short, I met him. I read a screenplay of his. I saw talent. I said, "Wow, I could work with this kid." And then we had a conversation one day. Michael came to me and said, "What would you write if you wanted to get noticed?" And
just sorry, side note, at the time I had just graduated film school and I was trying to write like a $50 million, essentially a Jurassic Park type movie, but instead of dinosaurs, it was monkeys on an island. And it was like and it wasn't Planet of the Apes either. It was like scientists trying to convince monkeys that there was a god. And I was like, oh my God, I've written like a $50-75 million like ridiculous monkey movie. Who is going to make this movie? And I realized that. And that's why I went to Michael to be like, I need practical advice, because I know no way in hell this movie will get made at this point in my life.
If you want to go, I guess basically what I'm trying to say is, when you're writing something, Michael asked me what I would do. I told him horror. Horror is a really good way of breaking into the business. It plays with all the your sensations and emotions, and you can apply the horror to any other movie, like whether it's drama or whatever. You can apply that to all genres. Yeah, that's pretty well it. I mean, yeah, that's it.
cool. More questions here. The Nerd Far Away asks, how long did it take to get your film distributed?
So we wrapped our movie last April, and we just did our edit and sound design process. We don't really know, because we don't like deal with that as much. Like the production company, their people kind of did all the sales and stuff, but not very long, because they've got relationships in the business. So they went down to AFM, and they
originally we wrote the screenplay for another group that we had talked to, and at the last minute they bowed out, and we went to another company shortly after. They said they'd finance the movie, and they got involved. And then I don't know, it took we worked on the film maybe 6 months. We met this other group, and then shortly after that, I don't know who they were talking to.
Like for us, like by the time we locked everything, we had like our whole movie ready to deliver. Our movie was supposed to actually get released like earlier in April of this year. And then they decided they wanted to do like a larger theatrical push after they showed it to Alamo Drafthouse and South by Southwest. They pushed it so they could get more theatrical screens. So we didn't really wait that long. Like as we were editing, all this stuff was kind of being organized for distribution.
Yeah. The president of Alamo Drafthouse told our distributor, don't release it in April. Let's do a bigger push on this thing, and we'll release it in September.
Yeah, and so that's Tim League.
Yes.
Yeah, I know Tim. I believe
that's the story. That's what we were told. So.
Oh, that's cool. So you finished it. They finished the movie April 2022, and then you were looking for distribution and got it. Is that right?
Well, no. April 2022 is when we wrapped production.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And so we wrapped production April 2022. We did our edit, all that sort of stuff. And I think February of this year, late February, is when we were delivering the movie.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think Industry Works was working on finding a distributor as of October. And I think that's when they sort of met Level 33 and they got together, and we didn't get involved in distribution at all.
Fletcher Williams, I Suck at Games channel, says, what camera and lenses did you use, and how did you choose the color and mood for the film?
So the movie was shot on a Blackmagic, the 12K camera, but we shot at 8K. And we primarily used 2 zoom lenses. I believe they were the DPZ or the DZO optics. It's like a newer company. So we had 2 zoom lenses, and they weren't the fastest. I think it was like an F3.
Yeah, it was an F3.
And so we had also a set of, I think we had a set of Zeiss primes for just a few of the scenes, like the opening. And
the opening.
there's a scene with me in the
primes.
park at night where we used them.
When it was darker.
And
all the exterior night stuff.
In regards to the color, like we were going for that Giallo sort of color look, but we also wanted a modern kind of element to it as well. We didn't want to go for that sort of, you know, grindhouse trying to look like those movies. We wanted to incorporate
more the Italian, the Giallo films. You know, all the, you know, Suspiria, all those types of movies. You know, the Italian films of the 70s and 80s.
Cool. And then, well, let's see. Another follow-up. English Bachelors, what difference does it make on a 12K cam and shoot at 8K? Sorry if that's a dumb question.
Technically, like, I'm not that certain on it. I know that from a practical perspective, it is going to make so much more storage space if we're shooting 12K the entire duration. And when you get into editing and things like that, you know, you also have to work in proxies, and it's just, there's really no benefit unless you're doing heavy VFX stuff on like a big grand scale. But for this kind of a movie, it would have been totally unnecessary. 8K was amazing. You can punch in really well to enhance shots. And yeah, that's a technical question for someone smarter than us.
Well, I would say
I'm completely lost. That's my thing.
No. Drive space is an issue, but when you shoot like 8K or 12K, then you can like push in to a wide, and you can actually get the benefit of like a close-up, and you still have the resolution. So
yeah. What we used it a lot for was like, so we did a lot of practical zooms in the movie, but we were able to enhance the zooms even more by doing what you said. Yeah.
Shooting in 8K, that helps. And so congratulations on the film. It's in theaters now. Don't look away. Check out the trailer, playing at Draft House Cinemas and across some AMC cinemas. One final question here from Greasy Guido. Says, who would the Michaels rather work with, Michael Caine or Michael Keaton?
Michael Caine.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Caine. I like Michael Caine. I'm a big fan of Michael Caine from his older films. Michael Keaton, he's a good actor too. He's a great actor. Yeah,
Well,
but
there you go.
Michael Caine.
There you
Michael
go.
Jordan.
Michael Jordan, whatever, Michael. Thank you, gentlemen, for being on the show. We appreciate it. Congrats on the movie Don't Look Away. Check it out in theaters, and I assume at some point coming to video on demand. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.
Thanks so much, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Later.
How are you?